My name is Jenna, and this is Gin and Tonic. If you are a cocktail drinking nerd like me, hit that subscribe button and join me for a drink. Today we are celebrating Derby Day, and I'm sorry my hat's not like as cool as some of the other ones you see at the Kentucky Derby, but I had it and I like it, so I decided to wear it. So Derby Day. Derby Day is May 1st, and the official cocktail of the Kentucky Derby is the Mint Julep, which I am going to make for you today. This drink originates in the American South in the 1700s, and at this time it was basically a cure-all for whatever ailed you. The first written record of it was in John Davis's travels of 4.5 years in the US, and I'm pulling my card out here because he is quoted as saying, "Dram of spirituous liquor that has mint steeped in it, taken by Virginians in the morning." That's a hell of a way to start your morning, if I do say so. So what is in a mint julep? It's basically just mint, bourbon, and simple syrup. So let's put it together. So this is another one that you get to build right in the glass. So very easy to put together. And the traditional glass to serve it in is a pewter or silver mug. And the reason that they did this is because it kept the drink really, really cold. So I've got one of those. And how you build this is you start with your mint. You want to do 5 to 6 mint leaves, or 8, I mean, depending on the size. These are some healthy mint leaves, so do a couple more for good measure. So you get your mint, and then a 1/2 ounce of syrup. Now, this is something that you can customize based on how sweet that you like things to be. Keep in mind, it is just syrup and bourbon and mint, so you can adjust the recipe accordingly. And then what you want to do is muddle it. I have packed my muddler, so I am going to use a spoon. Stand by while I find my spoon. If you could see the behind the scenes, you would know that my apartment is in quite a disarray because I am getting ready to move next week. So you'll see a whole new setup soon. All right, so muddling it, all you're basically doing is breaking up the essential oils that are in the mint. So once you've done that, and I feel good about it, I'm gonna move on. So something else fun about this drink is that you get to use crushed ice. And if you don't have a crushed ice machine on your refrigerator, you can just buy one of these linen bags and beat the crap out of it. And then you have your own crushed ice. As I was saying earlier, this drink originates in the 1700s, and then it makes an appearance actually in Jerry Thomas's Bartender's Guide. He makes 5 different juleps in this. So if you haven't gotten this book, it's really cool. A lot of fun history and a little bit of nostalgia for you. So check that one out. I'll be sure to link it for you. So what I'm doing now is I'm adding the crushed ice to my cup. And then I'm gonna add the bourbon on top of that. I'm not gonna go crazy, I'm just gonna put a little bit in there so it makes it easy for me to stir. So you're supposed to do 2 ounces of bourbon with this. I'm using Basil Hayden. So on the subject of bourbon, use something that is good enough quality that you would be willing to drink it on its own, because again, this isn't something, there's not a lot going into this. But don't do something crazy expensive here. So whatever you like. I'm a big fan of Basil Hayden. I think that it's smooth and it's not as sweet as some of the other bourbons out there. So I recommend trying it. So we'll do 2 ounces-ish of that. It's your drink, you're at home, do what you want. Something interesting about this drink too is that it originally was made with cognac, and it wasn't until the mid-1800s that it was made with bourbon. And the reason behind that is because in the mid-1800s, if you know anything about wine, you know that phylloxera started killing all of the vineyards in France. So cognac, which is made from grapes in France, became almost obsolete very quickly. And so same as with a lot of other drinks, you had to find something else to to make it with. So they made it with bourbon, which makes sense anyways, right? I mean, you're drinking it in the South, bourbon's what you drink in the American South, right? So after you add the crushed ice, you just want to stir it so you're incorporating the bourbon with that mint and syrup that you put in there. And after you've mixed it, I've mixed it to where I can kind of see some of that mint coming up to the top. I'm going to add a little bit more crushed ice to my glass. Your goal is to try to make it kind of a dome, but depending on how good of a job you did smashing the ice, which I did okay. I wasn't feeling very aggressive today. It may be harder to get that little dome. And then the last 2 steps would be to use a straw and put some mint on top. And there you have it, a mint julep. That is strong. I went a little heavy on the bourbon, but it's absolutely delicious. Dangerous, very dangerous. What's cool is that putting it in this mug, I can see how it would keep it nice and frosty for you. Quite tasty. And what's interesting too about this is it wasn't actually the official drink of the Derby until the 1930s, I believe. Yeah, 1938. So if you're planning on celebrating the Derby, find yourself a hat, make yourself a mint julep, and enjoy. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button. I am Jenna, and this is Gin and Tonic. Cheers.